But I've also been thinking that and thinking that this kind of build can thrive in this environment where the format is very, very removal spell heavy and slow, which is what's happening right now. And so we're circling back to Rydia. We played Rydia in like a just kind of normal Gruul shell, which wasn't very good. We played it in a Goryo's build, which was pretty good. We didn't play a lot of it, but I liked that idea. But I think right now, with how every deck is so removal heavy, being in on like just all in on Monument in a Rydia shell seems so awesome. This deck is so grindy. It also can kill kind of fast with the Monuments, especially now that we can afford to play some extra Mox Ambers. Mox Amber is also nice. Like, Mox is in general really good in decks with a lot of looting. You get Inti back in there. Inti plus Rydia can go really, really crazy. Two cards I've been really wanting to play together, especially alongside Amber. List just looks so nice to me. I wouldn't hate playing the fourth Fable, but I ended up realizing that I think you want to play a lot of Saga targets because you can just loot them away so easily. So, like, Boots is really good with Rydia, where you get to go, like, put it on Rydia, tap, activate it immediately. I think this one's pretty mandatory. I think the Spear is pretty important. Lantern for Flage is important. And if these cards are bad, you can loot them away pretty often. Nothing too crazy with the sideboard. Let's get in there. GG's Tur. Okay, we can keep this. We are on the draw, which isn't ideal. Another Delighted Halfling. Wow, this metagame is so sick. That is the best top deck, probably. Nice. Case of the Crimson Pulse. If it was a Saga, that would be hell yeah, because we could get it back with Rydia. I feel like we have to play Fable because of Rydia. Hapatra! I love Hapatra. I don't know why that card just always makes me so happy. It is going to get cooked here, though. Sorry, Hapatra. You know I had to do it to you. Alright, so let's play a Monument. Do I want to discard and then cast another Cookbook? I don't think so. I think we're going to draw a Straw card. Got some zeros, so let's do it main phase. Alright, that's a good pickup. I guess I can just block the Hapatra pretty well, so let's kill the Halfling instead, actually. Are there any good discard outlets of black-green? Besides Asmo, not really. If anybody types a lot with Troll in the chat, I'm going to be very disappointed. I don't want to see a lot with Troll in the chat. maybe just make a Saga token and Lavaspur Boots next turn. Alright, so they have a Bowmaster. I think I'm okay with this. Yawgmoth certainly is a discard outlet. I don't know if I'd say it's a good discard outlet. Sure. Ballista, also fine. Getting a Soul Guide Lantern, probably what we want to do now. I think I do not want to make a Saga token. I think getting Inti is better, but let's get a Lantern to stop Cauldron Ballista nonsense. So there's a Wooded Foothills. I'll probably play the probably still play the Saga over that if nothing else changes off this, which probably won't. Another land, that's okay. We're just kind of looting those away, sort of. They got two cards in their hand. Feeling pretty good about our spot. Inti just casually Ancestral Recalling every turn. Okay, would love to now find a land to like trigger the Rydia with this Inti. Although, I'm not going to complain about another copy of Asmo. Alright, there's a Stomping Ground. Then they Endurance my Ovalchase Daredevil. This Daredevil is super important, so let's protect it. Then we get to go cast an Asmo, kill the Endurance. Yeah, so I go Asmo, kill Endurance, attack, discard Ovalchase Daredevil, play Stomping Ground, play Cookbook, get back Daredevil. Win the game. All right, I'm going to bring in a Pithing Needle. I think I'm interested in a Haywire Mite for Cauldron. This way the Needle can name Yogg. Lantern was better there than I maybe give it credit for sometimes in these matchups. Up to the Monument, it got Besaged. I think they have too many chump blockers for me to care a lot about Boots. Also, when I bring in targets, I like to cut targets. It's kind of Fable, too, on the draw. Beware of Oof. Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe we could want to play a Fire Magic or two. Maybe for game 3. So we're on the draw. This hand is close. I think on the draw we'll give it a go. Just like being able to get a cookbook off the Saga. It turns on this hand so much. And also maybe Rydia gets back the Saga too. Putting the Aerith Heliod combo deck together. Any changes thought about the leagues the other day? I'm interested in playing the first Heliod. I wasn't playing it. It seems like you're wanting to play it. There's also, so Spike Feeder is interesting. If you go Spike Feeder, Cauldron, Aerith, then you can make it infinitely big and you can make infinite life. So I think that probably deserves more consideration than where we were at, where we weren't playing it at all. All right, I guess I just see if I draw a land since we're gonna have Battlecraft next turn. Funny draw. There's an Outland Liberator. If they cast a Cauldron, will concede. So yeah, like maybe being a Coco build makes sense over being a Gearhulk build. Gearhulk's really good, but if Spike Feeder ends up being really nice, that could be the difference. Kylo's Reconstruction hits Cauldron, so like that could be interesting too. The card is so much mana. All right, let's just run it on the play here. I think on the play we're a lot more likely to be able to make foods before the Oof gets down. Another 0-lander. I would mulligan this on 7. I think we have to keep on 5. Oh, sorry, keep on 6. Would also keep on 5, I guess. I love Pyrocosmic Shock. That's good feedback because I mostly just don't think it's that good against them. But I'm not sure, so hearing that you like it is excellent feedback. Thank you. Maybe less than 4 monuments, right? I think no. I think in this deck it's really important to play 4. In this deck and this metagame. This metagame is so grindy. It's like so grindy, removal spell, creature focus, which I'm really enjoying. Okay, Rydia is pretty interesting. I think I'm discarding this Shadowspear, actually. The second fetch land seems so important. So I guess I have the option here to play Asmo or crack this fetch on my opponent's turn and get 1 extra Inti card. I think I'll just probably cast the Asmo, right? We hit a Mox Opal. That's not too bad. So we're going to discard this Mox Opal. Okay, another Rydia, not too helpful. What's the decision between Magus and Blood Moon in the board? Is it because some artifact removal also deals with enchantments? Yeah, I mean, so like this is an anti-Titan sideboard card, basically exclusively. Titan is going to be bringing in their Force of Vigors for sure against you, and they also have Besage you, so Magus dodges both of those. They're still going to have some answers to it. They put a Force in their hand off the Rumble here. So that's kind of the... In this deck, I think it's very easy Magus, because you know that Titan's going to be bringing in the Force to deal with your Sagas and your Monuments and your stuff. So the fact that it dodges that and Besage you is more relevant than in decks where you know your opponent's going to be bringing in a lot of sweepers. But I do agree it's not always super obvious which one to select. Okay, getting very flooded here despite all of this rummaging, but we do get some more filter. There's a Fable. There's a Mox Amber. So we can discard the Fable and then bring it back with Rydia if we want. There's also a Faithless Looting, which we might as well cast here. I guess I'll cast it off the Amber. It's always so weird when they Bowmaster after I've already drawn 2 cards on a turn. I don't know. What can you do, I guess? Is this deck bad against combo? Yeah. We have a lot of sideboard cards for it, but I mentioned this. Like, this metagame is very, very, very not combo. And that's kind of the idea behind playing it. So killing my Asmo, which makes some sense here. We get to trigger the Inti again. There's another Fable. So I suppose it makes sense to cast this Fable. Since also no Sagas in the top 26 for the Rydia. Makes sense that we can get this Fable back later. And then do I want this Soul Guide Lantern? I think yes. I think more than I want to attack for 4 this turn, although attacking for 4 can be pretty good. At least the leagues are just all grindy decks. I would play Amulet Titan Pro Tours tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, well, I would still play Amulet Titan at the Pro Tours tomorrow. People are not playing Amulet Titan in the leagues. Like, the metagame is just so grindy, which is why we're playing this deck. I think Storm is underplayed. I think Titan's underplayed. I think Belcher is underplayed. But this is thankfully not the environment we have to play in right now. There's a difference between what's popular and what's good usually. So we're getting Collector Oofed. We'll see how we can play through that, I guess. Okay. Oh, we got Hapatra. So Hapatra into Court for Yogg. I don't know why they're courting on my upkeep here. Yeah, this does get us though. Yeah, I think the meta's healthy, gameplay is good. I'm having a good time, rather than it being like the main thing you're built around. Let's keep this on the play. Do you have anything Lantern Control into? Not at instant speed, I think. Maybe we should have Fire Magic in against Yogg. We'll try it next time. Nice. Live. Please. Please, Rydia. Thank you, Rydia. So we get to do the thing. Do I cast Asmo now? Yeah, we're gonna cast this for sure. So let me see if it gets countered, and then the more cards I like loot and stuff, I'll have better informed decisions on what to do with them. So they're gonna flare this? Sure. So let's get back an Urza Saga. Ooh, baby! Let's go. Non-league metagame awful metas. I think the challenges haven't been that bad. They're different though. A lot more brood scale usually. So an Ice Fang off their Charlotte Sage. This blue-green Birthing Ritual deck is so good too. Or cool. Alright, so let's go discard Daredevil. I think we make a treasure token first so we just get the Daredevil back immediately. We're certainly going to be doing all 3 modes of this monument, probably both turns. Seems fine. Maybe not both turns. That's actually going to be tough. Maybe they counter this. Okay, thankfully not. So I'm going to discard Fable, bring it back with Rydia so that they can't counter the Fable. And then make a Saga token with the treasure token and then the other Saga. Oh, sorry. I thought I still had my land to play this for turn. Probably going to be okay. They don't play a lot of removals, so I don't think I'm sacking the treasure to give this ward 1. I also have a backup Rydia anyways. Been a sweet game. Yeah, we played this deck a long time ago. It's gone through a few different versions. There's like new tech. Ooh. There's new tech that's playing. It's just like a green and blue 2/1. You know, Besage sometimes is really fun. Don't hate that. I think I'm gonna graveyard it. Because I probably want to play Saga this next turn anyways, right? Ooh, an Inti's interesting. Let me discard Rydia Basic Forest. I think they're not very likely to have too many answers for these. Then let's make a Saga token. Get another cookbook, I think. This has a finality counter. Oh, I want to discard the Saga so I can get it back with Rydia. Alright, get another cookbook. Then we cast Inti. If this gets countered, maybe we have a chance to lose. Okay, no chance to lose. Okay, Daredevil, that's not going to be very helpful, I guess. Let's go ahead and just bring back Saga. Loot away the Daredevil, trigger the Inti. Like, just such an insane amount of card advantage here. We're digging for another copy of Asmo, of course. Let me play a Mox to get back the Daredevil from the graveyard. Play a Wooded Foothills. Discard the Ovalchase Daredevil. We are popping off so hard. This is so sick. Alright, let me cast the Asmo. Get another cookbook. Cast a cookbook. I guess we'll tap this Saga. We hit another copy of Monument to Endurance, which we can cast. Trigger the Inti again. Hit a Faithless Looting, which you're probably not going to be casting this turn. Get back the Daredevil. Discard the Daredevil. Deal them 3. I think. I guess I could make a treasure token also that cast another cookbook. Not bad. Good, even, you could say. Have you tried making a Tom Bombadil deck? I know you also love him. Well, I do love playable modern cards more than I like goofy Lord of the Rings characters, unfortunately. And Tom Bombadil is only one of those two things. They just have so many one toughness cards. You can loot these away also. Let me cut the Lantern, even though they're an Oculus deck. We lost to Yawgmoth in round 1. Typically pretty good against Asmo decks. Pro-human matters a lot. Try this. That was the best Rydia turn we've had by like a Rydia game we've had by a pretty big amount. So this is the kind of hand that wants to lead on turn 1 Saga, so we can get Asmo activation online turn 3. Also, the token's going to be pretty good. Or the cookbook will be good with the Inti. Backup Inti helps. Pick your poison looks fine here. The problem is that they have Ice Fang, so like if we try to pick your poison Oculus, they have Ice Fang in play. It's just kind of game losing. But it does get Birthing Ritual. But we have Haywire Mite for Birthing Ritual too. I mean, the character, not the card. I tried it, just can't make it remotely playable. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of flavorful that Tom Bombadil isn't remotely playable, right? Because he seems to be kind of a stubborn bastard who doesn't want to play ball. All right, Inti resolved. There's a birthing ritual. Harbinger of the Seas would stop me from casting spells for the most part. So they just get an Oculus. Not too bad if my Asmo can resolve this turn because I can shoot the Oculus. The cookbook's interesting. So can I go cast cookbook, cast Asmo, cast cookbook, Haywire Mite? I can't. I think we'll just get another cookbook here. Mox Opal, awesome hit. Oh, you know what? Maybe it was better to wait on. I guess I can attack and I can get the Asmo back if they have a subtlety. So let's go ahead and kill the Oculus. Attack with Inti. Discard 1/2. There's a Rydia that's a little bit out of reach, unfortunately. Hard to say this was a bad turn. And this is what I'm talking about with this deck. This deck is just, if you're playing any kind of Simic, Dimir, Black-White, Boros, like Orzhov, like you just win these matchups every time, it feels. So you're just so grindy. And you get to kill all their creatures, and Monument's hard for them to interact with too. Casting both Monuments is going to be a little tough this turn. Nothing off the Birthing Ritual either is tough. Alright, let's see if this resolves. Gets consigned. We can kill the Ice Fang, so I don't think I cared that much about the Death Touch here. Backup Asmo. I think I'm still killing the Ice Fang before blocks here. So looting. Looting could be okay. Do I want to kill the Manifest too? I think no. I think getting 2 cards for the Inti on my opponent's turn is pretty dang good. Wonder if you go Jund or Teamer for more combo hate options like Thoughtseize. Well, our sideboard is like entirely combo hate, and it's, you know, with the Urza sagas, it's tougher to splash. We did play a Goryo. I think if you want to be better against combo, you play the Goryo's build that we were playing. I think instead of playing the card Thoughtseize, I would be more interested in casting Goryo's Vengeance on an Emrakul as my attempt to be good against opposing combo decks. All right. Well, obviously this Simic deck is not the most common, but good showing. Good showing. For sure, let's mulligan this. Keeping the similar hand, I think we got to keep. I'm gonna put back our Stomping Ground. Turn 1 Tamiyo. Good pickup. If they hold up Counterspell, we could maybe loot away Fable and Just return it with Rydia next turn. They do have a Fatal Push, so we could maybe resolve one of these. Monument is probably the better of the two to resolve. Although it doesn't do as much by itself. The thing is, I've got Rydia in hand, so I have a lot of, like, just any land lets me trigger the Monument and get the ball rolling. I can also draw Looting or Cookbook. And if the Fable resolves, it'll trigger the Monument as well. And Monument just in general is so good against Dimir that matchup experience is what I want to lead on. They sack a Clue, then they preordain, so they flip the Tamio. Interesting that they wouldn't preordain first, kind of minor. They plus the Tamio. So drawing a fetch line would be really good. Draw a second Monument. Alright, let's play a Fable then. That's bad. Alright, we get Tamio'd. Damn. So I guess we should have played Fable instead of Monument. That would have worked out a lot better. Again, we're pretty just... Our sideboard is just so dedicated to combo hate, and I do like this matchup. I think we just run it back. We could play second Lantern. We could play Needle for Tamio. Tamio does seem like kind of a pain. Let's try this. Alright, nice hand. Not super clear how you want to sequence. Usually you do just want to play Saga turn 1. This hand isn't really an exception because we could make a Saga token on turn 2 if we wanted. I think I would rather play Inti turn 2 though, so let me just play both these out. Play around Consign. Pick your poison for Tamio and Murktide TBH. Maybe. Care a lot less about Tamio when I'm on the play. I don't care that much about Murktide either because we're an Asmo deck. But maybe. We could play Fable here. Seems like they have a Consign in their hand. I think I'm pretty happy if they consign the Fable trigger here. I think I do like Pick Your Poison a lot more on the draw. Do you ever feel the need to trim on Fables or some 4 of cards to some Galvanic Blasts? Well, we have played Galvanic Blast in this archetype. It does make you faster. I think it's important to be playing Rydia at the moment, though, so that we can kind of come to an understanding. I guess do I discard Inti? I think I discard Inti, so I can cast Asmo and make a Saga token. But yeah, I think it's important to come to an understanding of like how many are the Fables important for Rydia? We have brought a Rydia or a Fable back with Rydia this league. The Fables are very synergistic in this deck, but I also don't like Fable of the Mirror Breaker that much in general. So it could be good to just play some blasts instead. You could cut like an Amber or a Saga target and play 4 blasts. Doesn't make you that much faster. Alright, they're going to be dead to Lavaspur Boots next turn, probably. Nice. This is a really good Boots deck, also with the Reflection, with Rydia. Just so many cards Boots are insane with. Okay, I do like the idea of Pick Your Poisons on the draw. So maybe cut a Needle. Cut a Lantern? Cut an Amber? Maybe we'll cut a Fable. Keep the other Amber in. Yeah, the Blast being able to kill Oof, definitely nice. Alright, gotta keep this. Alright, Pick Your Poison, paid off. This is an awesome hand. Doesn't really seem like we could afford to... maybe we should have baited with the cookbook. Doesn't seem like I can afford to tap out for Inti right now. They graveyard a counterspell. So an Urza Saga would be nice. Asmo would be nice because it would bait a counterspell. Does this bait a counterspell? It does, but it doesn't like bait it and let me cast the Inti. So yeah, like I think I'm looking for an Asmo. I think I'm looking for a Saga, Urza Saga specifically. Nice. Look, could just still be good to wait. Like, casting Asmo is so good if they just play a creature first. Also, one more. Yeah, I think I'm down to wait. Okay, now there's a creature in play. Tap land, so they don't have double counterspell up. If they have counterspell and snare, I guess we get pretty blown out, huh? Okay. So now we lead on an Inti, which just resolves. Then there's a mountain. Then there's a monument to endurance. So I was going to equip the boots and attack probably, but now I guess we'll play mountain and play a monument, right? Now they fatal push. Okay. So there's a good chance this gets Force of Negation, but definitely need to cast it. Just get that out of there, maybe. Counterspell. All right, well, sure is nice when... Inti was a 3-for-1 there when it could have been a 1-for-1. So there's 2 counterspells in the graveyard. Okay, I was gonna cast the Inti first, but now that I've drawn second Asmo, we'll just bait with this Asmo. Do not think they have a counterspell. They could, I guess. So let's see if they have another removal. So they've used 2 counterspells, 2 push. There's push number 3. Not going to discard the Asmo for the extra card. It's funny to hit an Asmo after saying that. Good chance we're going to be like buying creatures back with Cookbook this game. Alright, your turn. Explosives on 1. I wonder if they should have waited for me to have the extra Cookbook out there. Is it more important to resolve this Cookbook or the Fable? Probably the Fable. Weird match. Thanks, Jerry. Bounce my token. 1 card in their hand. Is this deck close to 21 Mox Amber? Yeah, so this is like the 4th time someone's asked this Mox Amber question. There are 2 Mox Ambers in the deck. I don't know what's going on. But they're in there. All right, yeah, just these matchups are just so good. Let's mulligan. Then Asmo a bunch of tokens. Yeah, I mean, like, the food tokens don't matter that much. If you kill the Asmo... If the Asmo is dead, the food tokens don't do anything, basically. So you just kind of want to wait until you can kill the Asmos before deploying your creatures. Well, we have a bunch of Magi and stuff on the board. Game 1's pretty tough. What's been my favorite VV deck? The solo VV1 or the one with Matoya? Solo VV's been performing better. It's a good draw, obviously. Yeah, solo VV's been performing better. Alright, so we'll go Wooded Foothills, discard Urza Saga. Play Inti. Get back Saga. I'm discarding Looting. Trigger the Inti. There's a new Asmo. Don't need backup Asmo very often. I think I need this commercial district less, though. There's a monument that's going to be a little bit out of our reach, I suppose. Yeah, I do want to figure out the Matoya VV deck. It's possible I was feeling like I had too many 3-drops when we played it. So I'm going to lose that on the Inti value, which I think is fine. Oh, well. Somehow don't lose that on it. But I need to play this for some of the analyst loopsy dupes. Not a bad turn 3. Not a bad turn 3 at all. Would Saxion Pro be the best card in Modern if it was legal again? Maybe. Nice turn, cool XC. Okay, well, I'm dead for sure. You don't get XD'd that often without being for sure dead, in my experience. Yeah, I think going down to 3-3 Matoya 3VV might be good. Probe would be unplayable garbage like Looting. That's funny. in the Corey Steel Cutter Dimulage format. You know, we top 8'd Canister's no banless Modern tournament, which with Phoenix, which was basically just plus Ponder, Preordain, Looting, Probe. Oh, sorry, well, maybe Preordain was legal at the time, but now Preordain and Looting are legal. If you made Probe legal, you just basically have that deck. But yeah, I think Corey's Steel Cutter to say Probe would be unplayable garbage is very funny. I might besage you my cookbook. If they do, I get a Rydia trigger and an Inti trigger. Yeah, Gataxian Probe would be the best card in Modern, I think. I'll say it. Yeah, a nice egg would be nice right about now. They get Lotus Field, Gruul Turf. Would it be in every deck? No. No card ever is. They get Teleria West, Lotus Field. Oh, sorry, Teleria West, Simic Growth Chamber. So I need to find 2 more cookbooks this turn to kill both of these Titans, and then they're still going to cast another thing next turn. Let's get started. Drawing the forest is pretty awkward. I guess I could have responded to the trigger. All right. We have looting in the yard too for more dig. Let's discard here. So there's one more cookbook. Is it better for me to cast this looting first? I do have a good amount of mana. There's a Saga. Unfortunately, I can't Rydia that back into play. Need it to be like a little bit elsewhere in this pile. Another Rydia. So I need to find Cookbook or Asmo off my Inti attack or my Lantern draw, but I really don't want to have to tap the Lantern. There's a looting. So looting gives me a lot more looks. Was it better to play Asmo last? You have more chances of drawing a cookbook? Maybe. So I want to play this Opal since I get the Daredevil back to loot away. Just kind of free. So this is +3 cards. Let's discard 1, 2, and then discarding the Saga lets me Rydia back to Saga. Which is more mana also. And 2 more cards. There's another cookbook. Really making me work for it here, huh? Might just be dead anyways. They sack their... Oh, the Hasteland is in the hand, right? But I could chump block the Hasteland and go to 1, potentially. Fun. They also might have remembered to put Cultivator Colossus in the deck, which is oftentimes unbeatable. Good review of the deck from our opponent here. Yeah, we hit a Mox and could make a Saga token. That would have been pretty nice.
We know they've got a Summoner's Pact in their hand, though.
Did we Rydia? I don't remember Rydiaing the second Saga. I guess I did. Oh, no, they remembered. Is Rin 6 playable modern anymore? Yeah. There's like the 4-color Omnath's pretty playable. You could play it in this deck, but I think it's a little... I don't love it in this one. All right, that's going to be big enough to kill. Well, I guess the Lotus Field triggers shrink this. They shrink it down to 7. Yeah, that's just hasting enough. Is not, assuming they have nothing in their hand. All right, well, we got some sideboard cards. Just want to say I appreciate the YouTube videos coming out the same day. Yeah, that's all my editor. He handles that completely. So shout out Gloom. Do you like them coming out after the stream now? That's something we started doing recently, which I think is a good change. Haven't had a lot of feedback on it. Yeah, I'm glad y'all have the YouTube videos. It's a good way to get some concise things of the good stuff that's been happening. Yeah, I feel like I need the monuments to close the games. Maybe they are just too slow. I think I'm gonna play Second Lantern. It's like really nice if you could just draw one and tutor for something else. Alright, so let's keep this. Let's lead on the Urza Saga. And the Lantern. 4 with Ygritte. Nice. What makes Fable better in this deck than Spyro? Makes artifact tokens which trigger Ovalchase Daredevil and Mox Opal. It is a saga that can be recurred by Rydia. The ability to haste Fable Chapter 3 and copy a saga token is sometimes really powerful. The ability to just copy saga tokens is really powerful. I feel like I'm missing maybe one thing, but those are the main two. It's a saga for Rydia, and it makes artifacts, and it copies saga tokens. I'm a big Fable of the Mirror Breaker hater, but this is like the best Fable deck you can play, I think. And I'm not even sure you want to play it. Any consideration for Fading Hope or Spite of Mogi over Flame of Anor? 1 mana trigger Matoya. I think both those cards are unplayable. I think you're over, like, just because they scry does not mean you should put them in your deck, you know? Like, and Flame of Anor is also like the card quality difference here is wild. Oh yeah, single red pip in your Saga deck also matters. Oh, also the timing works better with Inti, right? So if you go like turn 2 Inti, turn 3 Spyro, you don't get the cards off Inti, usually because you don't have the mana. But if you untap and then you get to trigger the Fable, then you get to trigger the Inti. 2 Explorers. How many times would it take time to beat you before you put Tunnelingus in your sideboard? We've played plenty of Tunnelingus. I think in this deck that can cast Magus turn 2 with the Mox in, it's better to play the Magus. Like I've also played Ingus against Titan, and they just are able to play through it sometimes. Like you still just like have to beat the 6/6, which isn't always something you can do. Take your time. Take your time. All right, I think we draw a card. What did they pitch? They pitched a Grazer. So he had his land mystery card, right? What was the land that they picked up? I thought it was gonna be Beseiju, but I don't think it was Beseiju. They return Crumbling Vestige. So their hand is Vestige, 2 mystery cards. They play a Mirror Pulse. They don't have a Titan in their hand. It's good news. So okay, we're gonna play Windswept Heath. We're gonna I guess I already have a Saga in the yard. Obviously a lot of ways to do this. I wonder if it's better to... Well, I can go Monument, Cookbook, make a treasure token, cast Asmo. Okay, Monument, Cookbook, treasure token, Asmo, Cookbook. Also brings back the Daredevil. You lose 3 life. Then I attack with the Inti, discard the Daredevil. Draw a card, since that's the last mode. Not awful. Okay, going to game 3. Probably should have Needle in for Beseiju, huh? I think I'm going to go down to 2 monuments with all these 3 drops of the draw. Let's do this. This is a turn 2 Magus of the Moon. So let's see if we die on turn 2 because we're on the draw. Hopefully not. That would be bad. Now my Magus is not going to kill this there's a Saga. In fact, it'll let it make tokens forever. Or until I find out pick your poison, I guess. But we're going to be able to make a lot of value with Inti Rydia. I don't think we need to be that worried about it. Have I tried Waste Not Monument Looting deck? Why would you play? Like, what does Waste Not synergize with and all this stuff? Burning Inquiry and only Burning Inquiry? I don't know. Waste Not into Inquiry is good. There's just like not another like second good enabler that makes it that interesting, I think. I've seen the Umori Sorcery deck. We've played Umori Sorceries on this channel. It's not a good archetype. It sucks, but it is one you can play. You know, that's absolutely true. All right, they tank and then they play an Amulet and then they play a Besage. Okay, scary. Might have been better to discard Rydia because we don't have any fetch lands, but I think it's okay. Alright, is turn 2 Magus of the Moon on the draw good enough? They're going to start making constructs. I can start Asmoing constructs and drawing cards with Inti, though. This is still weird to me, this whole situation. Ah! Sure does feel like my opponent has an answer to the Magus. Like I don't know how... I don't really know how you take this much time on your turns if you don't, which is very scary to me. We're about to get another cookbook. I think I could discard this one. There's another copy of Magus that seems like, unfortunately, it may be out of reach. So I think we're going to attack, and if they make a construct, we'll Asmo it. Don't think I want to discard either of these. Could be a planning sequence. Yeah. Maybe. Although I don't know if the only thing you can do is make a Saga token. Like you know. I fucking hate Amulet Titan so much. I hate this deck. It's like I hate casting Magus of the Moon turn 2 into an Urza Saga and losing spectacularly like this. Fuck. Yeah, we got Fire Spouted. Yeah, then they gaslight you. Poorly positioned. We can dump our whole hand next turn. Huh. I could equip this to Rydia, but I wouldn't be able to do much with that, so I think I graveyard. It's kind of interesting. How did you know I was bone there? What do you mean? How did I know? They have 8 mana. They have 8 mana in play. They have Besage You in their hand. I have like my hand is what, Rydia Cookbook. You know, I suppose we could sit and wait and see if my opponent just does literally nothing for the rest of the game. And the Besage You itself is like I'm just done with the game. You know, I'm just done with the game. I was not interested in playing that one any longer. Sorry, I should have played the Amber first. Not that they could do a lot with the island there. Yeah, they had 2 sagas in play. I can't beat just the 2 sagas. I agree. I think if the saga rule change wasn't the thing, like we could have played that game out maybe. If their saga was dead. It is so annoying that their saga just gets to be alive there. Now our mill matchup is probably pretty bad. We don't have an Emrakul and we see so many cards. That's a good pickup though. I haven't played against Mill in a while. If they have a trap, they've got 3 cards left in their hand. Yeah, the water crystal stuff is interesting. I've been thinking about it a little bit. Oh, sorry, we should have kept that on top because it's just getting milled. Sorry about that. They do have the archive trap. Into Visions and Beyond. Ah! Alright, tough 2 games in a row, dude. I like the Saga rule change as somebody who plays Asmo a lot, but... And then they surgical my Daredevil, okay. But Titan made it too resilient. Yeah, I don't know. Like that game was like kind of like quintessential example of like why did I don't know. It's I cast Magus on turn 2. They made one construct that I had to Asmo, and then they swept my board, and then they just killed me with the constructs, even if they have nothing else the rest of the game. It was so gross. Yeah, we'll probably end up running it back here. You know, I think our mill matchup is pretty bad. Let's run it back. Let's just run it back. Yeah, the thing is, yeah, I agree. I think the thing is, if they banned Amulet of Vigor, which is the most powerful card in the deck, and I don't want to get too deep into ban talk, but my position's like I've died on turn 3 to just Spelunking enough times to feel like a build that's just in on Spelunking would be a playable modern deck. And I don't know, Amulet is the most powerful mana generating card in Modern's history. It's really the